Hello friends, you're most welcome back to my channel Biological Tips. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, so today we're going to start with respiration. In this video, I have got you simplified notes and everything so that it should be easy to you. And if it's hard for you to understand, you can tell me. I can just bring you the Hindi version. Okay, so let us start. Now first I'll tell you what is respiration. It is divided into two, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is in the presence of oxygen, anaerobic is in absence or else lack of oxygen. Okay, so now see, whenever aerobic respiration takes place, that is whenever presence of oxygen is there, then carbon dioxide plus water and energy is released. These are nothing but they are called as byproducts. Okay, you need to remember this, it's very important. They ask you in the exam that what are the byproducts of aerobic respiration, what are the byproducts of anaerobic and everything. Now when you come to anaerobic respiration, see, mostly aerobic happen in mostly it happens in human beings, birds, animals, in living beings. Okay, whereas anaerobic also have the lack of oxygen, it happens in humans only, like in muscles, like when you do stressness exercises or hard exercises, like when you do sit-ups, push-ups, or else when you run for a longer time, your muscles starts getting pain. Why? Because your muscles are not getting proper amount of oxygen, and there the byproduct is lactic acid and energy. Now what happens in absence of oxygen, when there's no oxygen at all, ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy is released. So ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy are the byproducts. This happen in fungi and this process is known as fermentation. Example is yeast in dough, cake, dosa and Italy. Now that we have a term in respiration, that is vitiated air. This term means when you know for burning and for breathing, what do we need? Exactly, we need oxygen, right? For burning, we need oxygen. When from the air, the component of burning is removed, that is, oxygen is removed, then we say that it is a vitiated air. See, it's a term used to show from which the component needed for burning is removed, or else the component needed for breathing is removed. This is nothing but oxygen is removed. Then it is known as vitiated air. Now I have got you a simple flow chart. See, air passes from the nostrils, the two holes, then nasal cavity, then pharynx, then the larynx. Larynx is nothing but your voice box, then the trachea, that is your windpipe, then bronchus. Okay, see, there are two bronchus. Trachea is divided into two bronchus further. Then we have bronchioles, then alveolus, and then blood. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss some important points and questions regarding human respiratory system. The first one is, what is epiglottis? Ask to yourself, what is it? Yes, it's a cartilaginous flap which covers the glottis. Please don't get confused in epiglottis and a glottis. Here in the diagram you can see this is trachea, and glottis is the top portion, or you can say the opening of trachea, and that glottis is covered by a cartilaginous flap which is known as epiglottis. Glottis and epiglottis aren't same, please just remember this. Okay, so this was the first question. Now coming to another question, what is epiglottis function? What does it for? Yes, epiglottis prevent entry of food into trachea during swallowing food. See, instead, if the food goes or the water goes into the pipe, that is, if it goes in the passage of where air has to go, if it is going to the windpipe, then what will happen? Lungs starts filling with water, and it can cause the sudden death. It cannot. It is not like it can. It will definitely cause the death of a person if lungs are filled with water. So that purpose is of epiglottis, to prevent entry of food or water into trachea during swallowing food. I hope you understood. Now, what is the function of alveoli? Its function is to exchange gases. Alveoli are the microscopic air sacs. Now let us see the characteristics of respiratory surface. So it should be moist, it means it should be humid every time. so that easy diffusion can take place. Then it should have large surface area and large number of capillaries. Capillaries are the one which helps in change of oxygen to carbon dioxide, right? Now we have another question. Why does trachea has ring like structures? What is the purpose of these rings? Okay, why? Because its purpose is to prevent collapsing of trachea when there is no air. I hope you understood. Now what happened during inhalation and exhalation? During inhalation, diaphragm moves down, volume of lungs increases, air rushes from high to low surface. Coming to its reverse in exhalation, during exhalation diaphragm moves up, volume of lung decreases, air moves from low to high. If you remember of inhalation, you have to just write the opposite of exhalation. Okay, now what does the term glycolysis means? Glycolysis is conversion of glucose into pyruvate. When you see glucose, we have C6H12O6, that is carbon is having 6 molecules, whereas in pyruvate those 6 molecules of carbon will be changed to 3 molecules of carbon and it will become C3. Okay, glyco means glucose, lysis means breaking. Glycolysis means glucose breaking into pyruvate. Here carbon is getting breakdown. In this chapter respiration, we have to remember two scientists named, that is Lavoisier and Priestley, because they both worked on respiration the more. Okay, now lungs are spongy in nature. They are not of same size because the left one is slightly smaller, making space for your heart, and the lungs are protected by a membrane, that is pleura. Okay, now friends, you may be confused what is the difference between respiration and breathing. Well, I'll be telling you. Respiration is exchange of gases, that is oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is expelled out. Whereas that was for breathing, sorry. And respiration is breaking down, or you can say oxidation of food to release energy. Means here in respiration the food is breaking down to release energy. Now you'll have a doubt, then what's a digestion? What is it for? Yes, so digestion is a process of breaking down food into simple absorbable blood. See, respiration and digestion do differ. See, if you go and see in respiration, it helps in releasing energy, whereas digestion should be absorbable in blood. That's what we say, that whenever you get up for a fresh mind, you need to eat your breakfast. For what? Not for energy, so that your brain should work properly, because your brain will get oxygen to work properly. So here digestion and respiration are interlinked. Now we have 4 life processes, that is digestion, respiration, then transportation, and then excretion, right? So digestion already have made with the video. Now respiration takes place to release energy. Now what will happen? It will the nutrients will be transported to blood. Now transportation will take place. Now whatever is not needed will be expelled out, like carbon dioxide will be expelled out, excreta will be expelled out, and you can say during sweat also you will expel out, and vomitings, tears also help in excretion, not excretion exactly, but expelling out the waste materials. So all the life processes interlinked. So just get familiar with what is breathing and respiration, and how again respiration is different from digestion. Now you will have another question. Why it has to be absorbed in our blood? Because it has to be transported to all parts of our body. Right, lungs are in our chest. Still our brain gets oxygen. How? Because we have transportation system in our body which will transport the oxygen from lungs to all the parts of the body. Okay, now but the simpler form of food in digestion is break down to more simpler one to release energy. Clear? Now another question arises. What is getting breakdown in this respiration process? Well, it's glucose. Glucose is the one which is breaking down so that it can change to energy. Glucose is also known as respiratory substrate. Now what is respiratory substrate? It is the raw material for respiration. Clear? Glucose is the one which is used mainly to produce energy. And I've just now explained what is respiratory substrate. It's the raw material for respiration. Don't get confused. Now coming to anabolic activity and catabolic activity. Anabolic activity is nothing but small molecules are joined to form big molecule. Catabolic activity is nothing but breaking of big molecules into smaller ones. So that is it of today's video. I'll have part 2 soon. You can just watch it down. So if you have liked the video, please like it, comment it. If you have any kind of questions, you can comment me down. If you want to change my language, you can tell me, and do share it and subscribe it. Thank you. Bye bye.